Right now, there might be something sitting in your bathroom cabinet that is slowly and silently damaging your heart. Not a disease, not a genetic condition, a medication, something you bought at the pharmacy without a second thought, something you've been taking for months, maybe years, completely trusting that it was safe. That trust might be costing you more than you realize. We're talking about 5 of the most common medications that millions of people over 60 take every single day: pain relievers, stomach pills, cold medicine, certain antidepressants, and even bone supplements. What you're about to hear goes against everything the pharmaceutical industry has been telling you. Most people never find out until it's too late. But you're watching this right now, which means you have a chance to protect yourself before something goes wrong. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 5 types of medications are quietly weakening your heart, why the danger gets dramatically higher after age 60, and what you can actually do about it starting today. This isn't about fear, it's about giving you the truth so you can make smarter decisions for your health. If this sounds like something that matters to you, hit that like button right now and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. This channel exists to give you clear, honest health information, the kind nobody else is talking about. Now let's get into it. Let's start with the first medication, the one found in virtually every single home. You know it well: ibuprofen, naproxen, diclofenac. These are called NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and they are the go-to solution for headaches, back pain, knee arthritis, joint stiffness. They work. Nobody's disputing that. But here's what the label doesn't tell you. Taking these pills regularly after the age of 60, especially if you have any existing heart issues or high blood pressure, is like gambling with your cardiovascular system. The medical world has actually known about this for decades. Back in 2005, the FDA required manufacturers to put clear warnings about heart attack and stroke risk on all of these medications. And yet, millions of people still take them daily like they're harmless vitamins, completely unaware of what's happening inside their bodies. Here's how it works. NSAIDs block specific enzymes to reduce inflammation, but in doing so, they also interfere with the substances your body uses to protect your kidneys and blood vessels. The result is 2 dangerous effects happening at the same time. First, your body starts retaining salt and water. Think of your heart as a pump. If the pipes suddenly fill with extra fluid, that pump has to work at full force constantly. A young heart handles that. A heart that's already dealing with age-related stiffness or mild hypertension can be pushed right into failure. Second, NSAIDs cause your blood vessels to constrict and your blood pressure to rise. Even if your pressure has always been normal, taking these pills regularly can change that. And if you're already on blood pressure medication, these drugs can completely cancel out its effect, sending your numbers sky high without any warning signs. The dose matters enormously. High-dose ibuprofen, around 2,400 milligrams a day, and diclofenac carry the highest cardiac risk. Lower-dose naproxen appears slightly safer, but the risk never disappears entirely. One more critical point. If you take low-dose aspirin to protect your heart, certain NSAIDs like ibuprofen can actually block that protective effect entirely. So the drug you're taking for pain might be undoing the one thing keeping your heart safe. The answer is not to simply suffer through pain. The answer is to have an honest conversation with whoever is managing your health. Ask specifically about your situation. Are there safer pain relief options given your history? Sometimes acetaminophen is enough. Topical anti-inflammatory creams or gels that work locally without circulating through your whole bloodstream are an excellent alternative. And if an NSAID is truly necessary, the rule is clear: the lowest possible dose for the shortest possible time. Now let's move to the second medication, and this one will genuinely surprise you because it's sold as a protector: proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs, omeprazole, pantoprazole, lansoprazole. These are among the most prescribed drugs on the planet. Millions of people take them first thing every morning for acid reflux, heartburn, or to protect the stomach lining from other medications. They seem completely harmless. They're often just handed out without much thought. But here's the bitter irony. The pill you're taking to protect one part of your body may be creating a hidden threat to another. PPIs dramatically reduce stomach acid. The problem is that stomach acid is absolutely essential for absorbing certain nutrients, particularly magnesium. When you suppress that acid over months and years, your magnesium levels can fall to dangerously low levels without you feeling a thing, until your heart starts showing the consequences. Magnesium is what keeps your heart's electrical system stable. It's the mineral that regulates rhythm. When it drops too low, the heart becomes electrically erratic. Arrhythmias can develop, and some of them are serious. Beyond the magnesium issue, multiple studies have found a statistical association between long-term PPI use and increased heart attack risk. The working theory is that these drugs reduce nitric oxide, the molecule that keeps your blood vessels flexible. When vessel walls stiffen, the conditions for a heart attack are set. And there's one more concern. Omeprazole specifically can interfere with clopidogrel, an antiplatelet medication commonly prescribed after a heart attack, making it significantly less effective. These drugs were designed for short-term treatment, 4 to 8 weeks. They were never meant to be taken indefinitely. But for many people, they've become a daily habit for years on end. If that sounds like you, don't stop suddenly on your own. That can cause a rebound effect. Speak with your physician about reducing the dose gradually or exploring lifestyle-based alternatives like dietary changes. And if you truly need long-term use, make sure your magnesium levels are being checked regularly. We're at the halfway point, and what you've already learned about these two extremely common medications is something most people go their entire lives not knowing. If this is valuable to you, please take 5 seconds and subscribe right now. There's more important content coming that your family and the people you love could genuinely benefit from. And share this video with someone over 60 in your life, a parent, a sibling, a friend. A conversation started by this video could make a real difference for someone. Now let's keep going. The third medication on this list is one you've probably grabbed off a pharmacy shelf a dozen times without thinking about it. Cold and flu decongestants, specifically the ones containing pseudoephedrine or phenylephrine. They open up your nasal passages, they help you breathe, and they make you feel like a functioning human again when you're stuffed up. But for anyone over 60 with elevated blood pressure or any form of heart disease, they carry a risk that most people don't know about. These drugs are vasoconstrictors. Their job is to narrow blood vessels. In the nose, that reduces swelling and clears the congestion. The problem is, they don't just work in the nose. They travel through your entire bloodstream, constricting blood vessels everywhere. This forces your heart to pump against dramatically increased resistance, like trying to push water through a pinched hose. Blood pressure can spike rapidly and significantly. At the same time, these drugs are stimulants. They make the heart beat faster and can disrupt its normal rhythm. For a heart that's already sensitive or dealing with any existing condition, that extra stimulation can be enough to trigger a real emergency. European regulatory agencies have recently revisited pseudoephedrine due to its links to rare but serious vascular events in the brain. Evidence of just how powerfully this substance acts throughout the entire body. The particular danger here is that these products are sold over the counter. No prescription required, no mandatory consultation. People buy them, take them, and never read the fine print. If you are over 60, and especially if you have high blood pressure or any known heart condition, avoid oral decongestants completely. You have safer options. Saline nasal sprays are effective and carry zero cardiovascular risk. Steam inhalation, humidifiers, and nasal corticosteroid sprays that act only locally in the nasal passage are all much better choices. Your stuffy nose is temporary. A heart emergency is not. Now we move to number 4, which touches on mental health. a subject that doesn't get nearly enough attention in conversations about heart health. Older generation antidepressants, specifically tricyclic antidepressants, drugs like amitriptyline and imipramine, are still used today, not just for depression, but also for chronic nerve pain and certain sleep disorders. They can be helpful, but for older adults, they carry serious cardiovascular concerns that cannot be ignored. One of the most immediate risks is orthostatic hypotension, a sudden and dramatic drop in blood pressure when you stand up. This can cause severe dizziness, loss of balance, and falls. At age 70 or 80, a fall that results in a broken hip can trigger a chain of events that is genuinely life-threatening. But the cardiac concern goes even deeper than that. These medications can increase the resting heart rate, placing continuous strain on an aging heart that needs every advantage it can get. Even more concerning, they interfere with the electrical system of the heart, slowing down the impulse pathways that control rhythm. This shows up on ECGs and significantly elevates the risk of dangerous ventricular arrhythmias, the kind that can cause sudden cardiac death. For all of these reasons, this class of antidepressants is no longer the first choice for treating depression in older adults. Newer antidepressants with a much safer cardiovascular profile exist and are widely available. However, tricyclics continue to be prescribed specifically for neuropathic pain, nerve damage pain from diabetes, for example, because they can be effective for that purpose. If you or someone close to you is taking one of these medications, it is worth asking whether there are safer alternatives that have been considered, and whether heart rhythm and blood pressure are being properly monitored throughout treatment. Mental health matters, but the treatment you choose should never put your physical heart at risk while trying to heal the emotional one. And now we arrive at number 5, the most controversial entry on this list, and the one that will likely surprise you the most: calcium supplements. The pills that millions of people take every morning to protect their bones from osteoporosis. For decades, the message was simple and unchallenged. Take calcium, protect your bones, prevent fractures. But a growing body of research is raising a question that the supplement industry has been very quiet about. What is all that calcium actually doing to the cardiovascular system? Here's the distinction that matters. Calcium from food, dairy products, leafy greens, legumes, is absorbed gradually. The body processes it efficiently, uses what it needs, and handles the rest. Calcium from a supplement pill is different. It delivers a concentrated, rapid dose directly into your bloodstream. Your body cannot immediately use all of it for bone tissue. And the concern is that excess calcium in the blood can deposit itself in artery walls, a process called arterial calcification. This stiffens the arteries, reduces their flexibility, and can contribute to the formation of plaques that ultimately lead to heart attacks. Several large studies have found a modest but real increase in heart attack risk associated with calcium supplementation. Other studies haven't replicated this finding. The science is still evolving. For individuals with a confirmed diagnosis of osteoporosis, the benefits may well outweigh the potential risks. That's a conversation worth having with a healthcare professional. But the takeaway for everyone watching is this: taking high-dose calcium supplements on your own, without medical guidance, is not a neutral act. More is not automatically better. In fact, with calcium, more may quietly be worse. The smartest approach is to focus on getting calcium through your diet first. If supplementation is genuinely necessary based on your health status, the dose should be as low as possible, and ideally split across the day rather than taken all at once. And this decision should never be made in isolation. It needs to take your cardiovascular risk into account alongside your bone health. Here is the core message of everything you've just heard. 5 types of medications: anti-inflammatories, stomach acid blockers, cold decongestants, certain antidepressants, and calcium supplements, all commonly taken by people over 60, all carrying risks to the heart that most people know nothing about. This is not a call to panic. This is absolutely not a reason to stop taking your medications without talking to someone first. Stopping suddenly can be dangerous, and in some cases more dangerous than continuing. What this is a call to become an active, informed participant in your own healthcare. The next time you sit down with your physician, go prepared. Write down every single thing you are currently taking: prescriptions, over-the-counter products, vitamins, supplements. Bring that list and ask directly, given my age and my cardiac health, is this still the safest option for me? Are there alternatives? Should we be monitoring my blood pressure, my magnesium levels, my heart rhythm? Are there lifestyle changes that could reduce my need for this medication? Every treatment involves a balance between benefit and risk, and that balance shifts as you get older. Your heart has been working without stopping for every single moment of your life. It deserves to be protected with the same care and attention you'd give to anything that valuable. If this video helped you see something you hadn't seen before, please leave a comment below and tell us. What surprised you the most? Was it the stomach medication, the calcium, the cold pills? Your comment could be the thing that helps someone else decide to ask the right question at the right time. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Every week, there is new content here designed to give you the kind of health information that actually makes a difference in your daily life. Like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe so you never miss what comes next. Your heart is worth it. Take care of it.